Nam Jen Rola Benjra Sanjem Sho Sim Jen Dam Je Dewa Dan Devi Judan Dembra Jujen Dungara Dan Dungara Je Judan Dungara Mebe Dewa Damba Dan Mindra Vara Jujen Yeden Chadan Ida Tanim Jambola Nebra Jujen Chujin Jabatan Jesu Yaran Gushan Zubai Kewa Junze Ake Jesaba Tam Cheto Bechan Chujin Soye Buju Sugime Razin Yeti Deji Mada Sanje Yanga Mede Pur Robe Namda Jana Javo Simti Namje Samada Namo Lai Ke Dan Lu Dan Jinin Ke Chum Ta Dan Mi Ke Nam Tang Rova Gunjidage Je Zambar Tamje Kedodage Chudun Do Daja Ke Damba Nyame Tube Wangbu Shabje Dulci Mame Bala Gowe Rabdu De Gosmuk Bachembe Chansarjin Chapsun Chiwu Daja Ke Pardin Lama Rida Jinkur Janzu Chapda Garden Somba Maybe Derjambu Choke Shabjidur Chimame Bala Gowe Rabdu De Gosum Kubachimbe Chansar Shin Japsun Chiwu Dado Simjian Tamchiji Ju Chinje Lab Zedu Sol Pardon Zavelama Rimbo Chi Dagi Jiwurbeme Dejula Garden Chimbugone Jizonde Gusum Tuji Mujubzardu Sol Wana Namkata Nyambesim Chen Dam Janam Chenana Meba Yang Taba Zobu Sanjiji Kumparu Bojana Gobricha Te Chedo Taram Tambe Chisamun Chebala Chunimbi Kuno Da Puji Namrdabe Sen Sal Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Actually, if you speak Dharma for 1 minute, or if you speak Dharma for 1 century, meaning is same. You just elaborate the same thing, or you summarize the whole thing. So, what I have said yesterday and what I will say today will be the same thing. But no point repeating it, so I will rearrange it. Yesterday it was chapati. Today it will be tandoori roti. It is the same thing. So most of you coming from Europe and United States of America and Central South America. Anybody from African continent?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And we are in India. So one famous sentence, let's say. I wanted to repeat it and make it part of the Dharma teaching. Ask not what all sentient beings can do for you. Ask what you can do for all sentient beings. I'm sure you are familiar with that sentence, right? So that's what Dharma practice is. We think of others and what we can do for them. But we don't think about others and what they can do for us. So then we are good Dharma practitioners. So what can we do for others? I think number one thing that nobody can stop us from doing, and it will definitely make a difference, is to pray for everyone. How much it will affect the others when we pray for them, for their well-being, their happiness, to help them to solve their problem, whatever that might be. How much it can really affect them is another question. But does it help them, affect them or not, is a certainty. It will. Praying for somebody is definitely better than not praying for them. That much difference it will make. Why it will affect some more and some less? Because of several things. One who is praying, and to whom one is praying, and how are you praying, and what is the prayer is all about. For example, if you pray to Buddha for somebody to succeed their desire. I made the distinctions between desire and attachment yesterday. Was it yesterday or day before? Day before. Yes, it was day before. So desire. And how much difference will it make? Depends on what kind of desire it is. If that person wanted to become a better person, kinder person, happier person in order to make others happier and kinder and better person. Then you pray to Buddha for that. It will definitely help. If it is vice versa kind of prayer, opposite of that kind of prayer, Buddha is the wrong one to whom you should pray. If you pray for something opposite of that to Buddha, it will not work. But I'm sure there is someone and something to whom if you pray, that might work. You know? So, this way, prayer is something we can really do. It doesn't cost anything. It does not need any special place. And you don't need any permission and permit to do so. Now, beside that, doing something for others, then sky is the limit. Certain things you can do, but you might not know that you can do it. So that way, it is good as or bad as, you cannot do it. Because you don't know that you can do it. And then, opposite to that, we think we can do something and actually we are not capable of doing it. And because of our ego, ignorance, we believe that we are capable of doing it, and we go ahead and instead of helping somebody, make a big mess out of already existing problems. So, this way, there is limitations, whether we like it or not. Technically doing something for others. Now, this way, then Buddha showed us a way to weave through all of that complication. What you can, what you can't, what you think you can and you really can't, and what you really think you think you can't, but you really can. You know, all of this complicated things. It is the simplicity. So simply you deal with yourself. Your problem is identical to the other people's problem when it comes to the cause and condition of the problem is concerned. What manifests out of it is definitely different, but cause and condition is same. And cause and condition of all the problem that I have, and cause and conditions of all the problem that you have. I wish you don't have problems, but I know you have. And problems of the world, cause and conditions of all the problems in this world, they all are identical. That is number one. Number one thing is I. So there is an entity that can have a problem. If there is no I, there cannot be problem. Who will have the problem if there is no I? So I, on that the problem can stick. And I is the target. I is the magnet. Magnet to gather all the problem. Bigger the I, more problem. So this I, which is ego, now what should we do about it? Buddha taught us. We shouldn't be resentful that we have I. We shouldn't be resentful that we have ego. We should accept we have ego. That's number one, acceptance. I have my fair share of ego. Sometimes pretty big, pretty big. Sometimes it pretend that it is very small I. But it is a pretending. It is like a tiger mimicking like a mouse. Mickey Mouse can do more damage than 100 tiger. Yes. So we all have this I. And how to help others? The simple way is to tame your ego.
Wow.
And if you tame your ego, your capacity to do something for others increase by many folds. Because the essence of that ego, I, is non-ego. Essence of something is nothing, isn't it? It's raining.
Blessing.
It happened last time. Thank goodness we are on the roof. Last time we are in the, lawn. And from the raining from the top and raining from the was big problem. This time only top. So this ego, actually essence of that ego is egolessness, selflessness. In Mahayana Buddhist terminology, it is emptiness. Emptiness. Emptiness is a particular terminology I don't like. It is sort of, it does not really, in Tibetan, Tongpa Ni. So, word emptiness does not give me the same feeling when I say Tongpa Ni. Tongpa Ni, when I say that, the meaning is it is not one limited thing. Therefore, it is limitless. But when I say emptiness, then it just if emptiness, then why bother? Yeah, if everything is nothing, if everything is empty, then what are we doing here? So that kind of differences is there between the word shunyata and tongpa ni and emptiness. I am sure in English there is a better word for this subject. I don't have one. I'm sure there is. I don't know what it is. I don't think we can find the word right now. Somebody have to realize the emptiness or shunyata, not just shun, nothing, but shunyata. Not just empty, the tongpa, but tongpa ni. One have to realize that, then I think we will have the right word. Because our great translators of the past, like Marpa Lotsawa, like Lochin Rinchen Zangpo, like all of these great translators, hundreds and hundreds of them, they are all enlightened. Not just enlightened to translate, but enlightened Mahasiddhas. So their translation is not just word-to-word translation, but translating from the heart, the meaning. In Tibetan we say da tsikjur and da tenjur. So language is a sound, so da. And tsikjur means the word-to-word translation. Tenjur means meaning translation. Meaning translation and word translation. So meaning translation, you have to be enlightened. So now going back to the emptiness, since I have said all of this, I think you know there is greater meaning behind the word emptiness than nothing. In fact, it is everything. Therefore, it is not one thing, not one limited thing. It is a limitless. Your essence is emptiness. Therefore, your essence is limitless. My essence is emptiness. Therefore, my essence is limitless. Not, my essence is not one thing, one limited thing. So this mic is empty, emptiness, because it is a mic, only one thing. But it is beyond mic. It has all 5 elements, and it is manifestation of the maker, manifestation of the user, manifestation of the perceiver. We all perceive it as a mic. I like it this way. Everybody like it this way. Yeah. I always put it down here. So sound goes down. Now, so emptiness means everything rather than nothing. If you have to choose between those two. So, how to help all sentient beings? How to help? You have to become nothing. You have to become everything. Then you can help others. If we are less than that, then our help to other becomes limited, inefficient, sometimes counterproductive, and then also it becomes I am the helper and you have to be helped, and now I have helped you and you owe me. You understand? So all of that, somebody is outside. so all of that is what we have to overcome. All of that is obstacle for helping others. No strings should be attached when you help others. No strings. It is easier said than done. We at least wanted to see the subject shows appreciation. Say something or do something, or at least smile at you as a thankful gesture. So all of that is an obstacle. It is not genuinely helping sentient beings. So again, going back to prayer, we pray every day. We say, may all sentient beings be free from suffering. Sounds very, very simple, but it is very deep. May all sentient beings. All means all sentient beings. Entire space, entire universe. So when you mean that from your heart, you have no expectation. You don't expect that guy up there, that one, to thank you. How do they thank you? Fly over you and send you a gift on your head? It happened on my car. I don't know. How do you expect them to thank you? So sincerely, when you say that, it is more than what we think we are saying. It is grand. And it is really, really, let's say, a miracle. Because we are able to say and mean so big. But when it comes to somebody who we know, especially our friends or our relatives or our neighbors, then you try to help them to do some small thing. There's so much goes on your head, goes in your head, and you help. Your prayer is not the same. Especially to families and friends. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. It is. I tell you one negative reality. Negative reality. If there is an enemy in this world, if you have an enemy in this world, real enemy, not just superficial enemy, real enemy, that has to be your ex-friend. No? Has to be. Ex-friend. Your former friend. Otherwise, how can somebody hate you? Somebody who you have done something nice, someone who appreciated you and you appreciated them in the past, and then when that thing goes wrong, then the animosity have developed. All other kind of enemies are superficial. Like in a battle, for example. In a battle. When you're fighting a battle, you're fighting with enemy. But you really don't hate them from your heart, because you don't know them. They don't know you. But they're supposed to be your enemy. So you're shooting at them, you're throwing hand grenades at them and all kinds of things. But you really can't hate them from your heart. If you don't do those things, they do that to you, and you will be in big trouble. You will come home without, with some missing limbs. It's not a funny thing, but when we talk about it, it becomes becomes a little like that. So, the true hatred, true animosity comes when there is some good relationships in the past. And when that goes wrong, then animosity. Something you have nothing to do with in the past can never be your best friend or your best enemy, your worst enemy. Cannot be. So that way. So the miracle of prayer is that with all sentient beings who we have so close connection countless times. They have been our mother, they have been our father, they have been our son, they have been our daughter countless times. Each one of them. According to the belief of my lineage, each one of you have been my mother countless times, my father countless times, my son countless times, my daughter countless times, and everything else countless times. Without that understanding and belief, then definition of life after death does not make any sense. I was born and died 100 times. Doesn't make any sense. I was born and died 10 billion times. Doesn't make any sense. Why 10 billion? You know? And I was born and died countless times. Therefore, I have been the mother and father and the son and daughter of all sentient beings countless times. Has to be. Otherwise, technically, philosophically, it does not make any sense. How much you can comprehend, how much you can believe is one thing. You can believe, okay, they have been my mother, son and daughter several times. Okay, fine. You believe that, that's okay. But that's not really the truth. The truth is countless times. Countless times. So this way, our relationship with every single living creature in the whole existence is intimate. Intimate. And how many times? Infinite. Not one time, not 100 times, not million times, countless times. And people say, we meet this time, do we have some karmic connection from the past?
Definitely.
What do you think? You know, what can I say? I don't want it to say a spiritual lie. You know, if I say yes, you're my mother, you're my father, you're my son, you're my daughter, you know, if I say like that, as if I remember, then that is a spiritual lie. I don't remember. Even my father's face I don't remember, because he died when I was 2 months old.
Wow.
My father of this life. They say he looked like me. They say, people who knew him, they say he looked like me. Instead he had mustache and beard and long hair. You know? They told me. They tell me, yes. But I don't remember. So how can I remember you being my mother, you being my sister, you being my father? I don't remember. But my belief is, of course, we all have connection of countless lifetimes. This is not a personal statement. This is not a big deal statement. It is the truth. It is the belief. And we have been connected to each other countless lifetimes. And then when did pick up one person? When was that person was your father in the past life? I don't know. That should be my bumper sticker. I don't know. Simple as that. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. Yes, I don't know when you have been my mother, when you have been my father. I don't know. My father of this life, yes, I know he was my father. My mother of this life, I know she was my mother. But other than that, I don't know when. But I believe and I am sure they have been my father, they have been my mother countless times. And so this way, when we pray, that obstacle of knowing that this person is related to me, that person is supposed to be nice to me, I supposed to be nice to that person, that obstacle is not there when we are praying for all sentient beings as Mother.
Wow.
So we have a prayer, very old prayer. It says, Ma nam khata nyambi sentient tamche, ama Sanji Rinpoche la sovadesu. So the Mother equal to the limit of the space. Space is not limit, so equal to the limit of the space. I take refuge to the Guru, the Buddha, and then we repeat Dharmakaya, we repeat Sambhogakaya, we repeat Nirmanakaya. So, Ma Namkata Nyambe Simjentam, Lama Sanji Rinpoche la Sowandasu, Ma Namkata Nyambe Simjentam, Lama Uchak Chuji Kola Sowandasu, Ma Namkata Nyambe Simjentam, Lama Dechin Longchu Zobe Kola Sowandasu, Ma Namkata Nyambe Simjentam, Lama Tukji Tubi Kola Sowandasu. So, Guru da Buddha, Guru Dharmakaya, Guru Sambhogakaya, Guru Nirmanakaya. And so this prayer is very, very, very vast prayer and deep prayer and easy to do, and it is the most beautiful miracle that happens to us, that can happen to us. I repeat again. We have difficulties to have that kind of limitless compassion and devotion, compassion and loving kindness and bodhicitta to our own brother, our own sister, our own mother, our own father. We are able to have that to all sentient beings. Don't you think that is a miracle? That's what I'm saying. Okay? So, the power of the prayer, that is how we can be helpful to the others, to all sentient beings. Ask not what all sentient beings can do for me. Ask what I can do for all sentient beings. And now, if you are able to truly mean it, then your problems, whatever it is, becomes so insignificant. I tell you. Your problems, whatever it is, each one of you have a problem, I'm sure. I want to believe you don't have. I want to pray you don't have. But I'm sure you have. And it becomes so insignificant. Because you are totally dedicated for all sentient beings. And then at the same time, you should have all the important aspect of perceptions which works. For example, the patience. Very important perception. Very, very important. If you have patience, you can get anything done. Anything. If you don't have patience, very few things you will get done. Patience. You know, we eat apples, right? And how many years it takes for an apple tree in India to bear the first fruit? Takes 5 years. You have to water every day and take care of it year round. So after 5 years, it bears the fruit. And every year, the fruit becomes better and more after that. But then after 50 years, you have to cut it down. And you have to plant a new apple tree. And you have to wait 5 years. So, if you have planted in the apple tree when you were just born, you will be eating the first fruit after 5 years. When you are 50, you have to cut it down. And you plant another one. When you are 55, you will eat the first fruit. And when you are 100, you have to cut it down and plant another one. when you are 105 years old, you will be eating the first fruit of that tree. So patience, patience. We have a saying, the birds, except for the Garuda, need to use wings to fly high, riding over the Dharma. Garuda don't need that. Garuda flies in the space. That is why Garuda is so special, because it does not have to ride on the Dharma. It flies into the space from planet to planet. No? And other birds cannot do that. Yeah. Then they only can fly certain heights. And, so we have a saying: the bird who have the strongest wing can fly the highest. Yes. So here we can say that another way. A person who have the greatest patience can achieve the greatest achievement. Patience. If you are not patient, if you don't have enough patience, what happens? When you are almost about to get something done, you spoil everything and you make it not happen. Yes. So, plant does not grow by you pulling it up. It has to grow by itself. You say, I want you to grow taller, faster, and pull up, finished. You ruined it. So you have to have patience. Patience is the precious condition, precious perception, patience. Another aspect, I think they're all connected, just different wording. But another very important perception for getting important things achieved here to help others, helping others. Everything I talk here is about helping others. So that is wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom, again, is patience. Because if you just calm down, wisdom comes from inside. You cannot get wisdom from outside. You cannot buy wisdom. You cannot create wisdom. Wisdom is the primordial wisdom within you, within each and every one of you. Allow that primordial wisdom to manifest. And in order for that to manifest, you have to allow it. For that you need patience. And another way of saying the same thing, patience, is diligence. Diligence is also another way of saying patience. Diligent. I said, I think, a couple of days back, day before yesterday, as an answer for one question, without meditation you cannot reach Buddhahood. Did I say that? I think I said that. So, that is the point. you have the primordial wisdom as your essence. You have it. But you have to allow it to manifest. How do you do that? By meditating. Meditating. Meditation in Tibetan language. Sometimes people call it gong, but that is very simple way of saying it. In paramita, like 6 paramita, it is something. Some means your mind, your thinking mind. 10 means stable, calm. You're calm, you're stable. If you have a big problem, any kind of problem in your life, if you go hysterical, you make it worse. If you calm down, then you find the solution. And solution is in the problem. Yes. Solution of the problem is in the problem. Problem and the solution is connected. It is. When you find a disease, the cure is in the disease. By knowing the disease, clearly you know the cure. If you don't know the disease clearly, how can you cure it? You don't know what you are curing. You don't know why that disease exists. Same thing. When a problem happens to you, if you calm down, you see it very clearly. All the solution is there. And I don't mean to say that you should have problem, but actually, one who recognizes the solution of your problem, and you recognize the problem very clearly, then your problem becomes a stepping stone to improve yourself. Yes. Your problem, instead of being a negative, terrible problem, it becomes a stepping stone to climb up, rise further, become better. So, this way, another very important perception is wisdom. Wisdom comes from letting your inner primordial wisdom potential, allowing it to manifest. We don't call ourselves most of the time Sangjepa. Sangjepa means Buddhist. Sangje is Buddha, and Pa is Walla, Chai Walla. People who sell the tea are Chai Walla. People who have the beard are Beard Walla. Wear the rope are Rope Walla. And people who practice Buddhism are Buddha Walla. So Sangjepa. We don't call ourselves Sangjepa. Sometimes we do, but not most of the time. We call ourselves Nangpa. if people ask me, they will not ask me. It's so obvious. But I dress like this.
If they ask me, but
So they know what I am. But some of you, they ask some ordinary dressed person, ask what is your religion? You will say, I'm Nangpa. I'm Nangpa. Nangpa, Nang means inside. Pa is again, Allah. Pa. So definition of Buddhism is we take refuge in the Buddha, which is equivalent to my potential. Why I take refuge in Buddha over there is because I can become that. And potential of that is in me. I'm equal to Buddha in potential. Not in achievement, but in potential. That's why I take refuge. So Nangpa, Nang inside. So when we meditate, meditate because primordial wisdom is within us. So by manifesting it, we can become better. We can have wisdom. And then further manifestation, final manifestation, we become Buddha. So in between that two short sentence, it might be several thousand lifetimes, but doesn't matter. It is all emptiness. So ultimately there's no difference between 10 billion eons and one second. Ultimately, no difference. Only relatively there is differences. And for us relativity or relative is relevant. Ultimate is not very relevant. Only we can study and understand. But relative truth is what really works for us. If I throw up a rock will fall down. If I throw up a flower will fall down. So this way, relative truth is more relevant. Potential to fully manifest forever, not for a short time. We have many Dharma centers all over the world, thousands and thousands of them, and many of them practice meditation, all of them actually, and in many of them people come to do meditation because it makes them feel calm. It makes them feel good. It becomes like a stress management. Instead of taking strong pills to calm you down, you have half an hour meditation, you're calm. So it doesn't have side effects. It doesn't have collateral damage. So that's good. Nothing wrong with that. But meditation is not just for that. It is for greater liberation, greater manifestation. The manifesting temporarily the primordial wisdom, then you do half an hour meditation, just sit down and you feel calm. And somebody use singing bowl, by the sound calms you down, I don't know there is such a singing ball in Tibetan culture. But I saw them first time in Kathmandu, people selling them, and then they call it Tibetan singing ball. I said, what? What is missing? I didn't know something. It's a Tibetan singing bowl. Well, that's okay. But it have a calming effect. It goes this. And then you feel kind of calm. It calms you down. It's like a small baby. You just rock them, and then they fall asleep. So it is a sound rocking the mind, and then mind fall asleep and calm down. so that is that's okay. But the real definition of meditation is not for a stress management only. It is to truly manifest the ultimate primordial wisdom potential forever.
Wow.
You don't become a Buddha for a couple of years. And then you had enough of it. And then okay, now I know how you feel when you're Buddha. Then do something else, not like that. Yeah. Be something else, not like that. Buddha forever. Forever is very, very tricky word. Relatively speaking, forever is impossible. Forever. It's a very long time. Forever is a very long time. The time is emptiness. Therefore, forever makes sense. If not, then forever is a very long time. Somewhere along the line, forever has to become irrelevant because it is so long. In Hindi, kahin na kahi, yeah, kahin na kahi, somewhere. If it is forever, relatively forever, then somewhere something goes wrong and it will not become forever. Because ultimately everything is shunyata, emptiness. Therefore, forever becomes relevant when you reach that level of realization, not only intellectual understanding. I understand emptiness perfectly. I can talk about emptiness for weeks. I can teach you a huge text on emptiness for months. Every day.
Let's do it.
Good idea.
No. It is useless. So practice it. So how do you go about that? That I will do. So how do you go about it? You keep a good awareness and mindfulness about yourself. You are not a monk, you are not a nun, you don't have all kind of vows, hundreds of this vow and 20 of that vow and 15 of that vow, and you must do this and you can't do that, and you don't have those things. But if you do the good things will happen to you. If you do bad things will happen to you. If you throw up a rock will fall down. If you throw up a flower will fall down. If you don't eat, you become hungry, and if you don't drink, you become thirsty. If you drink the dirty water, in few hours you're in big trouble. So you plant rice, a rice will grow. You plant orange will grow. You plant a rice and expect orange to grow, it will not happen. There's a story in Himachal Pradesh. There was a man by the name of Kalidas. Kalidas is his name. And he lived in a village. It is a story, village story, folk story.
much.
And everybody every year went to get salt. So they walk many miles, and they go for weeks and days, weeks and months to get salt, enough salt for 1 year. And the Kalidas, everybody plant rice, everybody plant wheats, barley, right? So he thought, it's ridiculous. They're so stupid. Everybody's so stupid. I'm not going to do this anymore. So he went 1 year and he got double amount of salt. Normally people bring maybe 100 kilo. He brought 200. And when everybody went for the salt next year, he didn't go. He said, they're stupid. What did he do? He plowed the ground and he put the 100 kilo salt into the ground. And he watered it every day and he waited the salt to grow. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So that is Kalidas' story, okay? So karma, a salt does not grow. Salt put in the soil, it will go into the soil. And you plant a rice, it will grow. So everything has cause and condition, karma. Good karma, good thing happen. Bad karma, bad thing happen. Salt put in the earth, it will disappear. It will not grow salt. So this way, karma cause and result, happens all the time. You are where you are because of your karma. I am where I am because of my karma. But then karma is not fate. Karma, good karma can be destroyed. Bad karma can be destroyed. And hundreds of lifetimes of very good karma can be destroyed by a very big angry day. One day you are angry and you are negative and you do lots of harm, and 1,000 lifetimes of good karma is gone. And one day you are so positive and you are so compassionate and you are so devoted and you do lots of good things wholeheartedly, then thousands of lifetimes of bad karma is purified and transformed. Otherwise, you cannot explain why Prince Siddhartha became Buddha and we are still here in the samsara just wandering around, You can't explain that. Because karma is truth, but it is relative truth, not ultimate truth. So it is just depends on the cause and conditions. Now, going back to the main subject, so the meditation is essential, and wisdom is essential, and patience is essential. Discipline is essential. You are not a monk, you are not a nun. You don't have those vows, but you have the basic law, basic rule, whether you believe it or not. You don't believe in karma, karma become irrelevant to you? No. Somebody don't believe in head, they can have a headache. No. Yeah. And somebody don't believe in foot, their foot can get caught somewhere. you know. Whether you believe or not is not so important. Truth is truth. Whether you believe or not, it will happen. Somebody think I'm not going to die, they will die. And I have friends who says that I don't want to be born on this earth again. And I tell that person, please don't say such thing. Because if you say this so many times, think like that, definitely will be born here because of that. So you are making the karma for that to happen. Yes. You don't have that kind of ability to, next life I wanted to be a mic.
A microphone.
It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. So this way, and I'm not saying that for any particular reason, just because Mike happened to be here, that's all. I'm not crazy about Mike. I think it have lots of difficult job. Because everybody's spitting on it. not very good, not very neat and good job. Might have to be sanitized. Each time somebody had used it. The particles goes into it. And so many sentient beings are crawling in it. Anyway, now this evening's subject that I am talking is for us to live a meaningful life. We really should think of what we can do for all sentient beings, and then practically to all the fellow human beings in our environment, in our vicinity, in our neighborhood, in our community, in our family. What can we do? And don't be lazy about it. Don't be negative about it. Don't be discouraged about it. Just start doing something meaningful. I'm sure many of you are doing lots of good things. I'm sure. Keep up with them. And those of you who are not really that much involved right now, please be involved and do things to make this world better, this community better, and humanity better. And so that is the subject of this this evening's whatever you call it, talk. Yeah, I'm talking, you're listening, so talk, okay? Is it okay? Talk? Yes. With the help of this one, you all can hear me, yeah? So, okay. Then now you have some questions? Yes?
Rinpoche, this isn't about the subject, but I think it's something that particularly applies to us as the Sufis and to the Buddhists. Could you talk about the definition of lungta, since this is the year of the horse?
Okay.
And it's a beautiful thing.
Lungta is actually, Tibetans will say lungta. Lungta means literally wind horse. And in ordinary person's life, your lungta is up. That means whatever you do works. Whatever you think come to reality. And whatever things that you are involved, you succeed. That is good lungta. Your lungta is up. and when your lungta is down, then whatever you do doesn't work. You know, and you work very hard, no good results, and everything become not something you want, but it becomes something you don't want, and you have to struggle. You have to work very hard to achieve very little. Lungta tar, lungta increase, then you work little bit and achieve a lot. So that is lungta. And we have lungta, like prayer flags. Prayer flags have several kinds. One is for this particular thing. Lungta, prayer flags, is just descriptive terminology. But we have lungta and chodar too. Chodar is a prayer flag, but which is for enlightenment. So we have very sacred text, like liberation, text of liberation, great liberation, different sacred texts, so that wherever this where the wind blows this prayer, that kind of prayer flag, then the wind is blessed by this, you know, and then wherever this wind goes, whoever this wind touches, that prayer blesses them. That is one kind of chodar. Another is lungta. So lungta is wind horse. It is another altogether text. It will have a horse in the middle, figure of a horse in the middle, and then it will have a tiger, lion, Garuda, dragon on the four corners of it, and then it have lots of mantras in between. And then normally there is space to put your name. Most of the time when they carve it, it is carved for somebody. Therefore somebody's name is already there. Space is already occupied. And anybody can use it, it will work for them. But sometimes it can come with empty space where you can fill your name in it. But that is put up properly, and then it will increase your lungta. But it will increase your lungta. But there are certain days in the astrological chart, if you would know that, the almanacs.
Almanac.
So which days you should not put the lungta. Chodar you can put any day. Lungta, certain days you should not put it because it will have an adverse effect. So we call it padin. So any calendar that says this day is a padin day, you don't put up prayer flag for that day, in that day, for your success. It will not work. It will have an adverse effect. So, yes.
Rinpoche, your words are so precious. I'm wondering if you're willing to bring the mic that's covered with sentient beings a little closer to your mouth.
I thought it is close, but...
there, that's
really?
better.
Good,
Thank
good.
you,
Okay,
thank you.
The system we have is not very good, so.
It's actually a home theater system. One piece of it.
Yeah, right.
Normally there's quite a few, right? Surround sound. Looks like. Yes.
Rinpoche, I heard you say we could pray for the end of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the core of the Buddhist teachings are the causes of suffering and the remedy.
Yes.
I know that many people believe that if they were more spiritually evolved, they wouldn't suffer. I know many people that run from what doesn't feel good and is uncomfortable. And many people, when they list the things they are grateful for, do not list the things they are suffering about.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I see that for many of us, our own suffering and the suffering of others has led us to a spiritual life,
Mm-hmm.
has led us to learning compassion,
Yes.
loving kindness, bodhicitta.
Yes.
Why then do we want to pray for an end of suffering?
Long as one person is suffering, then that's enough. And all the other people suffering is not necessary, because if seeing somebody suffer, then that brings you to the Dharma. That is good. So let's say, may all sentient beings except me be free from suffering. Anyway, it is true. What you are saying is true, because Buddha taught first time after his enlightenment to the most beginners, most how do you say, earliest disciples, the most beginner disciples, Four Noble Truths. So it starts with the truth of suffering. So because through the truth of suffering, then you will understand the Dharma. Without the truth, knowing the truth of suffering, then you will not know the causes of the suffering. Without the causes of knowing the causes of suffering, you don't know how to overcome the suffering. And without overcoming the suffering, without overcoming the suffering, you will not reach the liberation. So that way, truth of suffering is the first teaching that taught by Buddha. So you're right. But having said that, I must tell you one thing. There's no one in the whole universe who likes to suffer. Yeah. So I think give everybody a break. Let them be free from suffering. Right? Okay.
Wow.
So Rinpoche, we've been in a very powerful gathering time, and a lot has been in a lot has been in coming into the alignment and the attunement of our lineage, and that we speak to as the unseen beings. And so as we look at suffering, we look at our life, we look at relativity, we look at doing good, serving, and where in the relationships our self-responsibility, and where in that place that we're attuning to it, aligning. I mean, it's like we speak in our prayers of inspiration and guidance, and so it's kind of like we or I disappear, and then it becomes this unified force, and yet I really strive to stay grounded or stay real, because that, like we speak of limitless, or that gate, it's like, so it's like
gate means gone far beyond.
going beyond.
Yeah.
And so it's like the unseen.
Yes.
And so how do I speak with that, or how in the Buddhist way, or in how you could support this relationship
Yes.
of where we do find our way to cease suffering
Yes.
and bring peace on earth and
Yes.
awakened mind and
Yes, yes, yes. Well, actually, you have said a very interesting word at the end: bring peace on earth. Actually, what we wish to achieve or attain or behold is ultimate. Ultimate. Buddhahood is ultimate. And but where we stand right now is in the relative. Ultimate is like over there. It is like here. So when you look up, it's there. When you look up, it goes further. So you never see the ultimate. It's right here. So you're right. So that way, that is our ultimate goal. But what happens, I think, in many cases, with my perception, I could be wrong, but in my perception, is because of this marathon Dharma teaching, like teach this, teach that, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this, talk about very high, talk about very basic. Then people get a little bit over-educated on certain things and under-educated on certain things. So therefore, you know so much about the ultimate, but you don't know how to implement that and how to relate to that, so that it becomes not that useful and helpful to really do things right now. Knowing the limitless and all of that is wonderful, but then what do you do with that? Therefore, I think you should know ultimate is ultimate, relative is relative, and we are right now. I wouldn't know ultimately, but relatively speaking, most of us are totally in relative. And relative truth is what works for us. We are under the control of relative truth. And so we have to deal with things according to the relative truth. And therefore, we practice patience, we practice generosity, we practice loving kindness, we practice compassion, we practice devotion, and we know that ultimately they are not there, but relatively that's what we have to deal with. So by doing so, then we can reach to the ultimate. These things are the stepping stones, like ladders that you climb. That ladders might be thousands of miles of ladder, but climbing that through being generous, being kind, being less selfish, being more sensitive towards others' feelings, and less sensitive about your own feelings. So like that, then you can improve, because we are very sensitive to our own feelings. We have been sensitive enough, for a long time, and so now we still be sensitive. We really don't have to put any effort on that, but be sensitive to the other people's view, and try to be a help for them. Try to be helpful to them, and try to be generous. Try to be helpful. Try to be understanding. Yeah. So that way, then you get grounded. Because only the ultimates, and then you get ultimate and relative get mixed up, and then relativize the ultimate. Then you get very confused, and you should not get confused. You should leave the ultimate where it belongs. We appreciate that you know about it, and it is there on your crown. Okay, leave it there, and then deal with what you can see, what you can hear, and what is happening right here, and deal with them, practically.
So like the unseen beings
Yeah.
are ultimate. And
Unseen
that
beings
is like
are
the
more
lineage.
ultimate than the seen beings.
But I can feel it.
Yeah, so you can feel it, but you can't see it, So you can feel it, that's good enough. But you deal with what you can see. And what you can feel, you should be grateful, and then leave it there. Yeah. Uphold and cherish it.
Wow.
Okay? Yes, ma'am?
Would you explain taking refuge? What the
Okay.
responsibility of that is?
Okay. Taking refuge means officially becoming Buddhist. That's what it is. Other than that, taking refuge really doesn't mean very much. Because you all have taken refuge. You all wanted to manifest, you all wanted to reach the realization of your ultimate essence. That is taking refuge to the Buddha. You all wanted to follow the path, which is shown by somebody who already have attained that. That is pregnant refuge to the Dharma. And you all following that path from by learning from those who already practice those paths, lineage, that is the taking refuge in the Sangha. So you already doing that, all of you. But if you wanted to become Buddhist official, then you take refuge into Buddha, into Dharma, into Sangha. Then you become Buddhist. So it is like a formality. Like if you wanted to become Christian, you have to dip in the holy water. You understand? So like that. But other than that, the essence, everybody is already in it. Every person in spirituality, with deeper meaning, not me and my enemy, not that kind of thing. Have compassion and have respect for everyone and everything. That kind of spirituality, you already have it. Yes.
Can you give us, Rinpoche, a sense of your daily life, your daily practices, where you live, who you teach to, and if you ever do any public teachings?
I'm doing it here. Actually, very difficult to explain about me. Very complicated. Really, because I supposed to be 1,001 years old. Can you believe that? you know, and I have a responsibility of a 1,001-year-old history. You know, I have to do what I do is to uphold the contributions of my predecessors, and also my time is very interesting time, because all those contributions of my predecessors, they were totally, you know, messed up. So I have so much fixing to do. So my like immediate my previous incarnation, for example, I just have to maintain it. But that was totally messed up. So I have to somehow do all the fixing. And I don't know how much I can really do in this life, but I'm doing my best. And I cannot afford to be stressed out. So I try to be, you know, I do my best. And now I become quite okay with it, to work without working. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And I have lots of schedules, but schedule without schedule. Yeah. So very good question, but very difficult to fulfill your question, because I have so many aspects, so many layers in my life, and it can be very interesting one way, but another way it can be very boring also.
Thank you for sharing this layer with us.
Welcome.
Okay. Some people say this earth is in peril, like there's so much suffering, there's so much violence, war, destruction of our environment. How do you see that from your perspective?
Well, actually, I don't see exactly like that.
Rinpoche, would you repeat the question for the people that...
Our sister here is saying that I'm not sure I will I will be right or not. You know, fix me if I'm wrong. She is asking that people say this world is sort of doomed. You know, so what do I think about it? Right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I say somebody is not dead until he is dead. So this world is not dead, so it is not dead. You know, it is still functioning. So it is pretty bad in many ways, but doing quite well in many ways. People talk about wars and all these things, but you know, if you read the history, in certain way, we have very bad weapons, very bad weapons these days. We have. Other than that, you know, amount of fighting, actually, we have less fighting than 500 years ago. 500 years ago, you know, in medieval times, you know, every village is fighting with each other. Every person thinks that leave lots of things behind. Our packaging materials are much more than what we package. You know, so inside is a very little thing, but the package is this big. You know, then to put those packages, we have a bag. You know, so much for so little. So that way, the garbage is growing. Definitely, that is very simple. And more population and more packaging, more garbage, and so one have to have a way to handle it. When you make so much garbage, you must also make equivalent means to deal with those garbage. That didn't happen. So if I say something a little bit unbecoming, but clear, making clear, we all human beings have to go to toilet, right? So the toilets are very, very well made. No problem. We have no problem there because it is already taken care. Toilet, water, septic tank, everything is made. So we don't have that problem. But then the bottles for the water, bottles for the soft drinks, packages for the clothes, packages for little foods and things like that, those kind of garbages, we don't have same sort of system like toilet. We don't have. So therefore, there's no means to. We have to say, you don't make any garbage. You don't make any garbage. But we keep on making garbage. So instead of saying you don't make garbage, you have to find a way to. You should make something to deal with the garbage, like toilet, to deal with the human waste. So same thing. We should make something to deal with the garbage. That was not made. Garbage was made, but to deal with the garbage is not made. So that way it is worse. So list can go on and on. But get back to your question. I don't see hopeless. Until you are dead, you are not dead. So this world is not doomed because it is still going on. It still goes on. We are breathing, and like for this 1.5 hour we being here, nobody passed out. So it's quite okay.
We're on.
Right? So everything's quite okay. But if we don't handle our garbage problem, environmental problem, there's many different kind of environmental problem, not only garbage, but that is one aspect of it. If we don't handle them properly, then maybe another 100-200 years from now, then maybe like in this amount of time, maybe 10 of us could be passing out. The oxygen or something, because air will be so bad, and everything will be so bad. Population, if Earth population increases 10 times, imagine what will happen. But if things goes on just like right now, in 200 years, it will increase 10%. 10 times. And garbage will increase also 10 times. And Earth will not become bigger. Ocean will not become bigger. So then inevitable, things will be pretty bad. But until we are dead, we are not dead. So we can do something. We can do something to make things better. Always. We can do something to make things better. Never late, never too late. Yes. And we have, I think we, our level, I try to do since 1980s, early 1980s. I think Pierre knows me very well, what I try to do. Interfaith things, Material Institute, and then Pilgrimage for Active Peace, and all these things about environment, and so many things I try to do. But I'm sure I made a little difference, like teeny little bit. and then each one of you try to do something, then it will make a difference. So that way, everything starts at home, because world is made out of many homes, and you in your home, in your neighbor, you do something, then things can improve. And let's think about the entire system of the toilet, the septic tank, the pipes, the what you call the flush, and the water tank, and the pumps, and everything. It is a big industry. So dealing with the garbage also can be very big industry if you put your mind to it and think about it. So if even you are not so dedicated, you are selfish and you wanted to make money, fine, fine. You can make a lot of money by making something to deal with the garbage. It will be good for the earth, good for you, and you will have so much money, so your wallet will burst. Okay. If you are a materialistic person. Yes.
You spoke of emptiness and
Yes.
also of ultimate versus relative reality.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the sphere we have to
Yes.
kind of start with.
Yes.
Would you take this further into the context of discourse of non-duality?
Yes.
And comment on that.
Yes. Non-duality in a big sense is again up here. So non-duality in a kind of tangible manner is I as a subject and everything as an object. The interdependency is so much, so that we're talking about the environment. Somebody cut one tree in Brazil. One tree can affect in a kind of micro level, can affect the weather of the entire earth. Just one tree. So that way, by cutting 1,000,000 trees, effect is noticeable. If cutting one tree does not have any effect, then cutting 1,000,000 trees does not have any effect, because it is one of the 1,000,000. If one have no effect, 1,000,000 will have no effect. So one have effect, because of that 1,000,000 have noticeable effect, and 1,000,000,000 have disastrous effect. So this is interdependency, and that is in a tangible, realistic, pragmatic way to understand and deal with non-duality. Yeah, and the ultimate definition of non-duality is up here, and you can never see it. You just have to wear it as a crown. Yes.
Rinpoche, I'd like to appreciate the talk on karma and reincarnation in the same way. Your words took me to the outside of my mind, to my understanding.
Yes.
As I tried to understand reincarnation from what you were saying, and it helped me connect to everyone, being my mother, my father, my sister, my brother.
Yes, and everything else.
And everything else.
Yes.
All the time,
Yes.
I no longer had to figure out
Yes.
the details.
Yes.
And it's similar to your answer
Yes.
about non-dual
Yes.
reality. All of a sudden now, I feel like I can relate to the interconnectedness of everyone,
Yes,
everywhere.
yes, yes.
And I personally, it becomes personal.
Yes, okay.
Everybody else's happiness becomes personal
Yes,
in this life right
yes,
now
yes,
to
yes,
me.
yes.
And I, for the first time, feel really appreciative and connected to
Okay.
reincarnation.
I'm very grateful. Yes,
Yes, thank you.
I'm very grateful. Yes. And the word reincarnation again is, reincarnation is kind of very interesting word. It is not re. Like today is not yesterday. so life after death is not reincarnation. It is continuation. Yeah. So incarnated. We are incarnated life after life. And I don't know where does it come from. It is coming from, I think, people who really did not believe it. And then they believe in only one life. And then when it happens again, then they call it re. But then today is today. Yesterday is yesterday. Day before yesterday is day before yesterday. Yesterday is not day before yesterday. So I appreciate very much what you understood, but this terminology for everybody, I always try to. Sometimes I become like a little bit argumentative about terminologies. So reincarnation is kind of like emptiness, the same thing. It is a strange word. And life after death is better. Life after life, yes. Life after life, yes. Yeah. Okay, welcome. I'm grateful. Yes.
So Rinpoche, mine is about what are your thoughts or your beliefs on the methods of the transformation of substances?
Of
substances like radiation, purification of elements, water.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I personally think spiritually transforming, one have to reach same level of enlightenment like Buddha or Guru Padmasambhava or something like that to transform radiation or anything like that. Okay. So having said that, I also believe that scientifically, if we have a radiation to transform, then there is means to transform it scientifically. And I am sure there is a way. I am not a scientist, I don't know. But logically, if we can make something, then we can unmake it. Or we can transform it. If there is something to transform, we can transform it. People will say it will be very expensive. Yes, it might be very expensive because we make it expensive. Otherwise, what is expense? What is the expense? Expensive is coming from the definition of value of paper money and the cost of things based on paper money. When we say expensive, cheap, but I don't think it should be. I don't think that it is not. I don't think it necessarily it has to be expensive. I have one example. For example, we make electricity by water, by fossil fuel. But the real thing is electricity of all of that is coming from turning something. So long as we can turn something, it doesn't have to be fossil fuel, it doesn't have to be nuclear, it doesn't have to be doesn't have to be environmentally damaging methods. It can be other methods. And I don't know how, but I can see very clearly Earth is going around the sun in 1 year. And it does not rest a second without turning. And it does not need fossil fuel. It does not need anything. So how does it work? So learn about that and make that artificially, and then make a kind of way to make electricity without damaging, polluting material. It is double negative. Fossil fuel is very precious. It is wasted. And then where it is wasted is it is burned. So it makes very, very harmful smoke emission. So double negative. So why do we have to do that? And then I see third negative. That is, wherever fossil fuel was taken out, so under the earth there will be an empty pocket, which can be filled with gas, or which can collapse, and can have enormous kind of earthquake which we never seen. Earthquakes are whether plates are moving this way or that way, and then we can have earthquake of big empty pockets under the ground, hundreds of miles away, huge, collapsing. What will happen? So people talk about meteoroid hitting us and all that kind of things. It can happen just beneath our basement, few hundred miles away. Just collapse everything because it's empty. So whatever was there was taken out. So it's empty. So I'm sure there is a way. Spiritual way is the easiest way, but most difficult, because somebody have to do it. Somebody have to do what exactly Guru Padmasambhava have done. Somebody have to do what Buddha Shakyamuni have done. So to become Buddha Shakyamuni, become Guru Padmasambhava, exactly the same, then of course the changing radiation will be nothing. But somebody have to do it. Who? You? Me? You? Who is going to do it? Any volunteer here? Yeah, but easier said than done, Yeah, really have to do it and attain that. It's not that easy.
But there's one more part of the question then. So I know in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition there's the sok,
Yes.
right? And you're saying mantras and prayers and asking for help, and isn't it then for transformation of those food substances? Purification, transformation?
Yes. But still, if the chalk is stale and rotten, if you eat it, you will get poison.
Okay, thank you.
It has to be fresh tampa with fresh butter, fresh, brown sugar, fresh cheese, and then make a very good sop and very tasty. Yeah.
We'll do our best to be fresh, refresh ourselves.
Then we bless it and make it fresh and full of blessing. But you make a very, very, very rotten sop and then bless it and you think that you eat it and you're going to get well. No. you will have, a very, very bad belly. Yes, yes. Okay. Not that simple. Not that simple.
Just checking.
Yeah. You checked very well. Okay. Yes.
Rinpoche, first I want to express gratitude for the beauty and depth of all of your teachings. It's wonderful. And a question that I want to ask, you said 2 days ago, so sweetly, you said you used to have a bounce like a basketball.
Yes.
But
now I'm like a weight barrel.
Now it's more like a weight. And in relation to that, I wonder if you can say something about sort of the opportunities for awakening that come with aging of the body, and as we get near the weakening and the aging of the body, what opportunities does that provide for awakening?
I think we should become aged. You know, when things are aged, it becomes something really good. The aged cheese is very good cheese. Yeah, we become aged person with a lot of wisdom. You said last part.
Why do you think we ended up in a story where we're still not good enough and need to be different to become something?
Oh, okay. Until we become Buddha, we are not Buddha. And we have the Buddha potential, no one can take it away. We don't have to look for the Buddha potential, it is within us. It is primordial. And I tell you one story. One great master, quite unusual master, called Rupa in Tibet. And he appeared, manifested, quite naughty, you know. And so he came to a temple, very beautiful temple. He stood in front of the beautiful Buddha image, and he's quite dirty person, so he did not take off his shoes, I'm sure, and he made a mess in the temple, and he stood in front of the Buddha with no respect, just stared at the Buddha image for a long time. And then he bowed down and he did 3 prostrations and he knelt down and he prayed to the Buddha. And then what did he say? Long time ago, you and I are the same. But you are diligent, you become the Buddha. I'm lazy, I'm still wandering around in samsara. You know? So it is not a story. It is true. It is true. True event happened. You know, the Tupakula. It is not very long ago. It is about. He was there around 800 years, 700-800 years ago. He said that he did that, and then he became enlightened at the end of his life. But he was a very unusual person. And when he was alive, people describe him most of the time as a crazy person. You know, crazy yogi. He's described as a crazy yogi. A yogi but crazy. So I think long time ago, I am same with you. I cannot see, yeah? Same with you. You are enlightened because you are diligent, and I'm still wandering in samsara because I'm lazy. Therefore, I bowed. There isn't any other reason. That's why I bow to you. Because you made it, I did not make it yet. But I will. So you will.
But does that seem to you that that's unique to humans? That every other sentient being, all the animals and plants and rocks are expressing?
Actually, humans are the most conducive for enlightenment. Most conducive for enlightenment. From God in the heaven to the beings in the hell, the humans are the most conducive. Because our life is short, but not too short. You know, animals, some of them live just overnight. And then our suffering, we have suffering, but our suffering is not unbearable. Because unbearable suffering we cannot tolerate. We will die. You understand? Our body is such that certain kind of injury happen to it, it will not live, it will die. So it have a limitation of suffering. It cannot suffer limitless suffering, cannot. And it have a very unique capacity, that is the communication, language communication. Language communication. Animals have definitely, but not as developed as we are. They are not as complicated as we are, but they are not as developed as we are, far as communication is concerned. So that way, we can understand Dharma, we can question Dharma, we can practice Dharma, we can attain the enlightenment with human form much easier than other forms. Like greater than us, like gods. You know, gods. Gods of the mountain, gods of the tree, gods of the river. They are more powerful, million times more powerful. They live billions of centuries. Their life is very long. And they have so much pleasure and so much, whatever they think, it happens to them. So, because of that, you know, they are full of that. They indulge in that. So we can't. We have to work very hard to just get, hand and mouth. So this way, the humans have greater opportunity to achieve greater, deeper realization in this life than any other sentence. This is not my saying. This is not yes, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Following up about communication, in our lifetime, the world has seen a radical change in our ability to communicate.
Yes.
The whole globe is becoming connected.
Yes.
And some see it as a positive sign, and others worry that it's just massive amounts of distraction and samsara. Do you feel positive, or do you worry about this electronic age that we're in?
Well, I should worry, but I am not worrying type of person. But having said that, from time to time, I worry about things. Yes, I do. I think we should look at it positively. Because, of course, if we can instinctively communicate throughout the world anything, then it can be a positive thing we are communicating, it could be a negative thing that we are communicating. Right? So if it is negative, we should be worried. If it is positive, we should be happy. So, but education is essential. So this world gets more and more educated. You think about 200 years ago, how many percentage of human beings are illiterate? Today, how many human beings are illiterate? You know? So this way, the education is so much developed, and then people who can use these communications and understand these are educated people. Uneducated people wouldn't know how to use these things. So this way, educated people, majority of them, somehow, one way or another, know what is right and what is wrong. So this way, I really don't think. And then, having said that, as the gentleman here, the brother here, just asked the question, and I have answered, we all have Buddha nature. So our Buddha nature will work one way or another, you know. So all those who are communicating with each other using this advanced communication system, they all have Buddha nature. So that will work one way or another. So I really don't worry. Yes.
I was
So
wondering
this
if you,
should be the last question, okay?
I was wondering if you could rearrange the words that you said about the enemy
Yes.
in regards to how we deal with our frenemies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Actually, enemies means that the enemy, that the person that we really feel out in our heart, that person is our enemy, is somebody who will do everything to harm us. So that is our enemy. The definition of enemy, that is enemy. And I'm talking relatively. Ultimately, there's no enemy, emptiness, you know. But so that is up here. You can never see. So now the enemy by definition is that. And who will do that? Who will do such thing to you? I mean, to you, who will do their best to do all the harm that they can do to you? Who will do that? Somebody who you know.
And what do we do with them?
Yeah, so well, it depends. It depends what kind of person that is. Having said that, of course, what kind of person you are. You know, what kind of person you are. So, presuming that you are a very good person, you are a very good Dharma person, you have compassion, you don't want to create any problem for anybody, you wanted to help everyone, even somebody who does all the worst things to you, wish you ill, wish you hurt, you have compassion for them, you will never hurt them. So presuming you are that kind of person, then what do you do with that enemy? It depends. Because even you are like that, it doesn't mean your enemy will believe you if you go and talk to the enemy. Because somebody who is full of negativity and who is willing to do everything to harm you, why would he or she believe you? You know? And therefore, I think best way is to keep away from that person, protect yourself whichever possible way, so that the person cannot harm you, and then you pray for that person. Because that person, how bad that person is, he or she have a Buddha nature. As the gentleman says, Buddha nature. And so that Buddha nature can be touched by prayer, and touched by your positive, I don't know exactly I should use this word or not, but energy. So that way, that person can he or himself decided to become a good person. Then good person will never be enemy of anybody. A good person, compassionate person, devoted person will never be enemy of anybody. So therefore, I think you should physically keep away. And mentally, you're very close to that person because that person is thinking about you all the time, looking for you, looking for you, want to get you, right? So therefore, very close. So you send positive energy. You say you pray, and you be compassionate, and you don't do anything against that person. Sometimes even say something positively to them about that person. That person hears that, and that person hears it wrong because of his or her negative mind. They will think that you try to do something against them because they try to do something against them, right? Therefore, don't say anything. Just pray from your heart, and so that way, then your Buddha nature can communicate with the Buddha nature of that person, then things can change. And for that you don't have to be Buddha. Yes, little bit, how do you say, not upset, but why am I not Buddha? If you are not Buddha, if you are pure in your heart, your Buddha nature will work much efficient. Yes. Okay. All right. So all the best, and nice to be with nice people. Okay.
Rinpoche,
yes.
First we want to thank you for coming to be with us, and I speak for everybody here that we make aspirations, especially for your well-being, to continue sharing such beauty with us and all sentient beings, and so happy to be together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Everything that I have is for everyone. Knowledge, wisdom, anything that is there, if it is there, it is for everyone. Okay? So it's for all of you.
We have a very rough American form of the dedication. Can we sing for you?
Why not?
May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. Composed by Joe and Gwen Miller.
Oh, I know them.
Yes.
Great people. They're really great people. They were. And, relative manifestation of ultimate Buddha, or ultimate Buddha nature. Of all of you. It's a melody of Buddha nature. Okay? Thank you.